We are back for the Marylvania State only challenge today, and we're going to get through about as much of this season as the team kind of makes us get through, and obviously still trying to keep underneath an hour-long video. As we start off, we are continuing from a really good standpoint. 1-0 following a dominant showing from Saquon Barkley, the offense and defense in total. It's a scramble, juking into the end zone. Pinnock or Savage coming in at that spot. As speaking of DBs even, to step up here as we throw, we find Jahan Dotson. Saquon close to 200 yards following a 97-yard touchdown. Into this half as Pickett lofts it up. That's in double coverage, but Saquon somehow finds it clean as possible as Saquon is in for another. The goal is to hopefully see a whole lot more of that play. Now, as we continue on with this season, we have the Cardinals and the Texans up next. They're both non-divisional. I think we're going to quick sim through those, get ourselves to week 4, where potentially it might be a fight for top of our division as the Bengals, Steelers, and ourselves are all 1-0 following week 1. So let's start to move forward. And it's almost role reversal in this one. The Cardinals, the dominant team, 31-14. We gave up 21 points in the second quarter, 10 in the fourth, and only managed a touchdown in the first and third. So definitely a completely opposites game. We were well under 100 rushing yards. Kenny Pickett did have a interception. Brock Purdy, a pretty solid game, though at least Pickett's completion percentage wasn't bad. 71% is pretty good, but we just did not really get Saquon Barkley going much in this one. We did, however, get a rushing touchdown for the former guard turned fullback, so I guess there is that. But it seems like the DB group was to be the ones in question, as Rashee Rice, 154 yards on 6 catches, and Christian Kirk, 102 on 8. Kirk had 2 touchdowns, Rice had 1, and it was Jahan Dotson who got the other touchdown for us. And on top of that, the top 3 tacklers in this game, all for the Cardinals. Our best was Mitch Tolbert, so he seemed to get out there a little bit. He actually had 2 sacks in this game. Chase Young was in the backfield a good bit, 3 TFLs, and we just had a few down at the bottom here. But the sacks, it was all Ed Oliver and Tolbert, mixed in a little bit there with Kenny Clark and Cameron Young. So it was just a really good interior of this defensive line. The good news from that week is that, well, the Steelers and Bengals also lost. The bad news is that the Browns won, and we somehow find ourselves the bottom of the pile. So as we get through this Texans week, heading into a divisional stretch, a win could be big. But the team just wouldn't be able to find it. 2 straight losses following the dominant game in week 1. Houston takes this one 28-17 against Mahomes. He put up a pretty solid game, though didn't really control it. In fact, Kenny Pickett seemed to have himself actually a better game, but we just weren't finding the end zone as much. DeAndre Swift, a big problem here. 3 touchdowns given up to him. Saquon, he was off to a great game here. And we have some unfortunate news about him moving forward, which we'll get to following the stats from this room. Raheem Jarrett, top receiver for us. We need to see that, getting that opportunity on the outside. Chikakonkwo into the end zone. We did give up a touchdown to Jacoby Myers. And in fact, both of our starting tight ends got in the end zone. So just not doing enough, but close. Once again, definitely not the leading tackler. Our best was Kevin Givens. There's Nick Bolton with almost double. TFLs, though, we had a few. Actually, we had the only ones. 2 for both Cansey and Givens. Sacks, though, Montez Sweat got back there. Cansey got 1. We gave up 1 to Brown. Owe, though, got 1, and we gave up a half to Martin. And the icing on the cake to the loss, Chad Ryland missed 1 of his field goals, though that would not have won us the game. It would have still left us down by 8. But as for that bad news, it's definitely bad. We're going to be missing Saquon Barkley through the first half of the season. A torn hamstring, 6 weeks. That's going to put Stallings out there as the starting back. And actually, we'll probably split it. We'll have Stallings and Israel be the combination for starting back. We might need to sign a third guy just to give us that opportunity. But it's definitely not how we were hoping this episode would start. And combine that with the Bengals winning last week, we are definitely at the bottom. However, Steelers and Browns, they also lost. So we technically all share the same record. And in these next 2 weeks, as it's the Bengals and Steelers, we could greatly help ourselves, especially with the Bengals on the top. So let's jump in, probably go with a quarter sim, see how the game feels, and then we might get into a little bit of the latter part if we need to. As we start getting through this one, we drive, somehow don't end up with points, but neither do the Bengals. Okay, well then we'll get through the second quarter then. Very defensive as we finally find a field goal, but they will match. As we get into the second half, we'll get through the third quarter as well, or maybe slow things down in the fourth as we finally pull ahead and we give up a safety? Is that how they got the 2? Well, as we head into the fourth quarter then, it is a 10-8 ball game. They're into plus territory, now driving with Rachaad White picking up 3. 10 goes to Kristen Ward. Down to the 30, down with a gain of 7. First down, we will jump in, and we are jumping in. Bengals trying to retake that lead. A field goal would do it, though only by 1 here. Got the double A gap from the defense. They will hand it off. White down the middle. He gets by Gross Matos, though not going to get by Cross. Good open field tackle makes it 2nd and 2 at the 3. They'll change up the look, make it a single back tight form then. Still going back to White, and we will stop him inches shy of the first. So 3rd and set inches at the 2. It'll be goal line versus goal line. Fullback back there to help lead the way as they go back to White. He will apparently cross the goal line. Very close to not. Either way would be a fresh set of downs. Bengals take a fourth quarter lead. Now on the following drive, we've at least gotten to about midfield, and this is where we will jump in as we are under 4 minutes left. Kenny Pickett's got to lead a touchdown drive as he runs straight to the defender, slamming him down, and Kenny Pickett shaken up on the play. Maybe he smacked the back of his head down on the turf with that hit. That will bring out the backup in Halen. Will he be able to lead this team to victory? Some have called for him to be our starting quarterback. Didn't have a great preseason, which is why we stuck with Kenny Pickett. But he rolls, he finds a Okonkwo, coming across to make it 3rd and 5. With us under 3.5 minutes, it's definitely 4 down territory here as we're into plus territory. A lot of territory there. As we will continue throwing up top, and it is dropped by Dotson. That is a play that we simply cannot have from our number 1 receiver. So 4th and 5, it will be Kenny Pickett back out there. Can he deliver a first down here for us? As he steps up, he'll do it with his legs sliding down, avoiding the hit that time. Well, our drive will continue, needing that touchdown to take a lead here, down 5 inside 3 minutes. Kenny Pickett checks down, Okonkwo gets the catch. It just happens to be a gain of 1. Though Kenny Pickett's been really good in this one, 20 of 22. Unfortunately, it just hasn't been for many touchdowns. As we bring out heavy tight end look, most of them up top, we will still throw. That's Brenton Strange, as I said that strangely, getting us down to the 25 and sending us to the 2-minute warning. Close, we just got to find the end zone. And because of how I would want us to manage this clock, I'm going to jump in here with the offense. We've got Israel, the running back. Down the middle, well, it's clogged up pretty quickly. But essentially, I don't want to give the Bengals another opportunity on offense. They've got too many good weapons, and we've been a little bit iffy. So let's look for something right across the middle then here. Israel, he lowers the shoulder, puts the hit in on the incoming defender. Going to get us down inside the 10. We got an RPO dialed up as we tick under a minute. We'll stick with Israel. Going to pick up a gain of about 7, getting us down to the 3. And this is where we'll turn off the chew clock as we have all of our timeouts. So do the Bengals. Under 40 seconds. We'll stick with the handoff again. Israel gets down to the 1. We'll call a timeout with 3rd and goal. We need to make sure we find the end zone on either this play or the next play. We had the read option dialed up, but they seem to be blocking that pretty well here. So we're going to make a couple changes, make sure we got the double to backer, read option on that left side, as Kenny Pickett takes it down the middle. He brings us in front. 30 seconds left. We need a stop here from our defense, and arguably we should go for 2. Just taking the extra point would just leave us up by 2. If we get this, field goal can only tie. So let's make sure we get it. Find a little window. Diving catch comes in by Raheem Jarrett. We go up 18-15. Still with that 30 seconds left. So what's it gonna be defense? Are we headed to victory or to overtime, or even worse, to sadness? Well, they pick up a gain of about 13 in one play. We do get the tackle and bounce, so it forces that timeout. They've got 2 remaining. Pretty clean pocket here as he goes to the flat. He will find his target. That's another tackle inbounds. 1 timeout remaining. 17 seconds. Field goal to tie as they go 2 spread either side. Back down to the flat again, though, getting the catch and the first down and out of bounds. Goldberg, the target that time. They probably need around the 35 for a field goal attempt. Duval goes up top. That's Kittle, who's going to get very close to that 35. They will have to call their timeout here and attempt a field goal or Hail Mary. Really wish the defense did their job and just got a stop on one of these. We're going to start calling some timeouts as well, trying to ice the kicker. 18-15. As they've got 5 seconds left. Trying to send this one into OT to try to keep at least a hold of the top of the division. This is going to be a 55-yarder. It is up. It's got plenty of power, and he nails it. Overtime we go. That is precisely why I did not want to leave them with much time. Well, now we need another stop here from our defense as they start off down the middle. White gets about 2, and Kevin Givens shaken up. We are extremely thin at DT, and he's headed off the field. That's going to shake up the defensive line here for us. Gross Matos is going to shut it down. Also with Cansey down at that spot, we should have Elliott and maybe Jones rotate on the outside. Swing pass, Kittle will pick up another 2. If only we did that last drive. 3rd and 6, an opportunity to get the ball here in OT. Field goal would win for us. They need a first down as they go to the flat. Kittle's got it. Can't even talk about field goals yet because we still need a stop on defense. We've been so good at forcing turnovers. One here would be fantastic. Bunch up top for Duval as they go play action. He's got time. Downfield wide open is Chase. Down to the 26. A touchdown for them is a walk-off. We've got to force a field goal or a turnover from here on out then. As it's trips up top, 1 down below. Duval, another clean pocket across the middle, finds Goldberg. It's a gain of 9. The coverage has not particularly looked very good, I would say, in the little bits that we've watched. The stats also have pointed to not great coverage. 2nd and 1, back across the middle, and another catch, Goldberg. Though Christensen injured on the play, with our depleted interior of this defensive line, that might help us out a little bit. 1st and 10 at the 11. As it will be another throw here for Duval. And we get the pick. It's Brandon Smith keeping us alive. Why do we make things so close? Well, because it's fun to watch. The offense will have their opportunity. The linebacker getting the start this year comes through for us. Now we just need to make sure that we don't give up any points. Throw it away, Kenny Pickett. A safety would be an awful way to end this one. With 5:53 left here in OT, we just need a field goal, though we're very far from it. And we're not opening up that many lanes. Israel sitting around 12 carries, around 30 yards. It's not been great rushing today. Hard count. Kenny Pickett needs to pick up a first down here as we got Raheem Jarrett placed out for him. This is a lot of yards. Cuts back in, spins. He double jukes the corner, and we are down to the 39. That is field goal range. Bengals probably thought they had us with that one. We're going to bring out Washington here from the slot. I'm going to send him around the edge, see if he can pick up a nice chunk of yards. Or he could pick up 1. We're going to be taking things very simple and easy from here, as again, we are in that field goal range. Now, they say 2nd and 9, but we're still at the 39, so it wasn't a long one. As Israel, he gets some space this time. First down to the 27. And while we've been out here, we haven't seen much from Stallings, so he's going to come out here, but they're stacking the line. So it's an audible from Kenny Pickett. As it's a play-action roll coming across, he overthrows Dotson, but I appreciate the effort, especially following the drop Dotson had laid out, tried to get to that one. But 2nd and 10, we're to motion out Graham, and by motion out, I mean we are clearing him to the outside. That's a big boy out there. They'll try to lead block as Okonkwo gets to that next level. Stallings on the safety, trucks through, and we got a first down to the 12. Now, Stallings has had a much better game. That was his 12th carry, 67 yards. So it seems the ground and pound with the power back working better than with the scat/receiving back. Stallings down the middle picks up another 6. All we need is the end zone. Also, field goal technically will do. But as we roll, what do we got here? Well, Kenny Pickett, he's going to take a couple hits. He picks up maybe a yard or two, make it 3rd and 1. Looked like he was eyeing the end zone on that one, just didn't quite get the blocks. Now, they do have a superstar to this left-hand side, which we are running to. Stallings down the gut, gets stuffed. 4th and 1 will send out the chip shot field goal. But it might have been a little too close. We'll purposely back ourselves up a little bit here. Ryland, iced by the Bengals. He kicks it just as they ended that first game, regular part of it. We will end the actual game with a field goal win. It's a big one for us here. Wish it didn't come down this close. But over our rival, we pick up a dub, which should help us at least go above the Bengals in the division. And actually, that win would go a long way. We are now top of our division, 2-2 with the Bengals and the Steelers, who start off with a field goal, though we get a quick touchdown. As we get into the second quarter, that score will not hold. We still grow it a little bit as we get through halftime. So 10-6, a chance to start to separate in division with a win here. As we do separate, though, I think the Steelers were driving. We're going to have to slow it down here. It is 17-6. And we pick up a big sack from Cansey. 3rd and 15. An interception, Darnell Savage. Beautiful. Up 11 points. Looking to put this game away, which we could with a touchdown. Gesicki picks up the first down. Nice to see him get a little bit involved. I do like the split that we do have with the running backs, getting a lot of different guys involved. Now 4th and 3 at the 39 is what I was reading. That is end of field goal range. In the rain, we're up 11. A dagger could be put in here with a first down. It is risky. We could also, while trying to put that dagger in, give big momentum boost here to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we will try. Trying to set up a little something. We'll just look to scramble then with Kenny Pickett. He will slide down at the 30. First down, we could start milking some clock. Or at least that would be my game plan. We'll see if the OC agrees, but chewing clock is definitely what we're going to be doing. As we're about 5 minutes left here, blitz, we shuck it off with Stallings. He's good for at least a broken tackle a play with that 99 break tackle. However, the rest of the ratings are still in development. If we had another, 3 or so years left of this challenge, Stallings could be the dude. But he's just not quite there yet. That's why we brought in Saquon, unfortunately, with the injury. We're giving time to Stallings, and speaking of injury, Brian O'Neill shaken up as well. He's going to limp off the field. That will bring in Ryan Bates then over at guard. Now, good news from that previous game, Givens, his injury is not long lasting. 3rd and 2. We send the stretch, spinning off Stallings. He's down to the 10, down to the 6 as he kept pushing forward. 15 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. He's looking for another 7 as we're at the 7. Obviously, that would include the PAT, but you know what I mean. Under 4 minutes left here. Back down the middle, Stallings. Inside the 5 as now Ryan Bates is injured. Come on now. He's been out there for like 2 or so plays. That's going to bring in 3rd string offensive lineman Hennessy as he actually helps lead the way. Stallings, the shake and bake, and that just might be it. If we get this stretch of wins in division, that would be fantastic. And indeed, it would be another win. Now, we did give up a garbage time touchdown to the Pittsburgh Steelers, so they tack on a little bit, makes it 24-13, but overall 2 straight divisional wins puts us solely atop the division. With the Bengals also defeated, no one can rival us for now. And what I think makes that win against the Steelers even more impressive was the fact of how many players we had out. Pinnock didn't play in that one. Givens apparently picked up a different injury separate than the one from the previous game. And Okonkwo was out. All 3 of those are practice injuries. Saquon was already out. Unfortunately, Brian O'Neill, he dislocated his ankle in that one, so he's going to miss the next 4, which is dramatically going to lower the average overall for the offensive line, as Ryan Bates, who also got shaken up in that one, I want to say is around a 73. So that's a big difference. Hopefully, that's not going to affect results, as we just claimed top. We need to stay there. And I don't know what it is, but the straight up sim games have not gone well today. 35-6 against the Chargers, who were under 500 at the time, now at 500. Lance, Tua, both played. Lance only came in for 1 play. Okay, that makes more sense. Kenny Pickett sacked 3 times, 69% completion, though no touchdowns from him. Joe Mixon had a pretty good game. Stallings, not awful, just no touchdowns. Tua ran 1 in. And Israel, okay, but just nothing dominant. Now, going into this game, Raheem Jarrett was talking about how he wanted to put together a big game, and 4 catches, 50 yards, not awful, but definitely nothing fantastic. Okonkwo was our leading receiver, 6 catches, 58 yards. It just seemed like we just weren't able to do much. No one seemed to really stick out in this game. No receiver for either side dominant. I'm not sure where all of their points came from. 14 in the 4th and in the 2nd. They got 7 in the 3rd. But we only managed 2 field goals in this one. So, very strange game. It said that we had a turnover. Did someone fumble? I don't see any fumbles, and no one threw an interception. So, I don't know where the turnover was from, but either way, it wasn't a good result. So as we sit here, week 7, have the trade deadline approaching. Week 9 is our bye. We are still atop the division. Thankfully, the Browns, somehow we have the advantage on them. But we're 3-3, so are the Bengals and Browns. Steelers 2-3, so they had an early bye, and we have the 6-0 Buffalo Bills. With how these games have been going, I think at least we got to jump into another quarter sim here and see how well we can hopefully do. Try to get some points going again. Now, the good news is this is a home game. Hopefully that means we'll be able to put together a good fight. Though as the first quarter comes to an end, the Buffalo Bills have the lead. Now 10-0. We do get a field goal. We get a stop. Before half, we tack on another field goal but give up a touchdown. That could have gone really well for us before halftime. Can't really say it did. As we get through the 3rd quarter here, we need some touchdowns on the board. There we go, 17-12, though it looks like they were driving. As we get into the 4th quarter here, Buffalo Bills are indeed down inside the red zone. It would be massive here for us to get a stop, force a field goal at least. We are down 5. We could do a touchdown and a 2-point try. Good stop there from Dennis. Haven't got to call his name yet. Brings up a 3rd and 5 as he gets the tackle on Stevenson. So it'll be a 2 set down to the bottom. 1 up top, tight end also joining. As they go with RPO, swing it out up top. 1st down goes 81. You know this Bills team pretty well. And Wilds, he played pretty well the last time we saw them. 1st and goal at the 7. Carroll goes up top, caught. Wilds drops it, actually. Not sure who it was in coverage or if it was the ground. Either way, whoever broke it up, thank you. Empty set here, 2nd and goal. Carroll going back up top to Wilds, gets the catch this time. Scored it out at the 3. Will be 3rd and goal. Now we just need to make sure we get the stop on this one, as they will stick with shotgun. It's a split backfield. Carroll, he looks to scramble early. We get the sack. Pinnock off the edge. He's come through time and time again. We will force that field goal attempt here. Block would be fantastic, but a field goal Still would leave it a one-score game, though we cannot go ahead with any score, and we'll need the 2-point try to succeed to level it up. So we're going to jump out here with the offense. Starting at the 25, we got just over 5 minutes left. Looking for a dump off. We find Washington. A late flag comes in. It was after it was thrown, and it's late hit. By all means, we will tack on some extra yards here. Now 2 high safeties. Slightly off in coverage here if Dotson could get a step, though does have safety help over the top. We'll open up the middle for Washington on what should have probably been a touchdown play. Unfortunately, Kenny Pickett, he missed the throw. Leaving us with a bunch to the right-hand side. Okonkwo goes to the left. Looking to air out the ball as we don't have a whole lot of time and probably should have sat in the pocket a little bit longer. Pickett rushed it. He had some opening receivers. So 3rd and 11. Could argue it's 4-down territory. This time stepping up in the pocket, down the field, this time Washington just getting the catch as the incoming defender not able to get there in time. Big gain, Kenny Pickett finds his slot receiver down to the 13. Getting back to the line quickly, going a little bit of a draw. Israel bursts down the middle, getting us down to the 4. I would love a quick score here to try to give us some amount of time left in this one if we could get a stop from our defense to try to find the winner, though still need that 2-point try as we find Washington. He helped us get down here. Now he gets us that touchdown. 2-point try still needed. Honestly, I'm feeling like bringing out the same exact look, though just flipping it. Trying to tie this one up 20-20. 3:05 on the clock. We go quick to Okonkwo. Maybe we shouldn't have. It's a stop by Joseph. We will need a stop from the defense. Just rushed it too much. I think we had a slant working open on the backside of Okonkwo. It's up to the defense then. Carroll, he looks to throw. Wide open target, Chris Olave. We cannot allow such open plays. Defense, now would be a great time to get one of those interceptions. Have not seen one yet today. As it's a spread look again here for Carroll. They're letting this clock roll. They snap it, 2 seconds left on the play clock, and they find Stevenson from the slot. Brings up 2nd and 4, though they will let it hit the 2-minute warning. Good news is we have 3 timeouts. Bad news is we might have to use them here. 2 spread up top, split backfield. As they do hand it off, down the middle, picking up the first down, though. Big injury, Romeo Doubs. Shaken up for the Bills. Will utilize one of their timeouts. We save our 3, but we have to get the stop here. Trip set down to the bottom. Stevenson, handoff down the middle. Big block comes in on Smith. He was decleated. 2nd and 4. This is where we could use some real DTs on the team. Power versus power. Stevenson gets quickly stopped by Dennis. We call our 2nd to last timeout with 3rd and 2. Back down the middle. Stevenson cuts, picking up the first down. And that will do it. Really unfortunate. Had the opportunity, just couldn't come through. Opportunity there. Opportunity not capitalized, and it's another loss to the Buffalo Bills. It's a very well-built team, but we've got to find ways to come away with victories against these kind of guys. Now that does drop us under 500 as we approach the trade deadline. And I'm gonna be honest, I tried just about anything I could to make a big trade here for a receiver. And there are 2 big options, obviously. DJ Moore, he's on the Texans, tried, they weren't willing, and then over on the Jets was our other big option in Stephon Diggs. Now, on top of not only trying, I tried trading to make it possible trade happen. And that included bundling up a bunch of our picks to get some 2nd rounders. I used those, I even used some backup, but young possible guys that these other teams might use for their future, even though there really isn't a future past this season. And I could not pull off a trade. So here's what we're going to try moving forward. Using our stats as a guide, this is how we're going to break down the receiving group. Simple as that. It's not going to be based off of the overalls. Now, Raheem Jarrett is our leading receiver, and it's not very close. It's at least 250 between him and the next best, which is Okonkwo. The bad part is Jahan Dotson, our highest rated receiver by about a 10 overall, maybe even plus gap. He only has 18 catches on the year, 163 yards. That's 23.3 yards per game. He's averaging 9 yards a catch, not even a first down. He does have 2 touchdowns, which rivals us for our best with Jarrett, but we're just not getting it done with Dotson. So he's going to be demoted to wide receiver 2. Jarrett's going to go to 1. And if Dotson doesn't improve from there, then we're going to have to give options to someone like Josh Johnson, or honestly, even the rookie here who hasn't had a single catch on the season in Clayton Stearns. So that's the plan as we head into week 8. And with this division, as it usually is, very, very close, no one really separating. Bengals have retaken the advantage with a 4-3 record. The Browns and ourselves are both 3-4. We have not played the Browns yet. Steelers 2-4. So against the 2-4 Seahawks, I would love to get a win, get back to 400. If the Bengals feel like losing, all the better, because that would put us back in first come our week 9 bye. And with the team in, albeit a little bit of a funk, we're going to jump in here. This is going to be the main game of the episode. As we approach the midpoint, we need to make sure we're at least 500 by then. We start with Stallings down the middle. We just get 1. Now, outside of the receiving group, kind of having that little shakeup, nothing else really changing with this group. That's really only been the troublesome spot, has been the receiver as Israel. Big gain. Obviously, injuries, a little bit of a problem too, as Saquon not out here because of that. But I feel like the backup running back's doing a pretty solid job. They're both averaging around 4 yards per carry. It's really, again, it's just the receivers. Kenny Pickett, only 1 interception so far this year. Knock on wood that stays the same, or at least very low. But right now, the receivers are wasting a good year from Pickett. So hopefully that adjustment helps out and Dotson gets his head in the game, because we need him. As we start with all runs, probably a good thing. We pick up 5 for Stallings, 3 carries, 20 yards. I would look for both to have around 12 to 15 carries each, considering we are a more rush-heavy team. Pickett throws to the flat. Okonkwo gets the catch, though just a gain of about 1. Statbook's going to say 2. At most, it's about 1.5 yards. Leaving 3rd and 4. We got 2 options down below, 1 up top. Kenny Pickett gets it to Israel, spinning off the tackles, breaks another. He does not have that high of break tackle, but he's looking really good out there. He's one of those players that is outdoing his ratings. Dotson, he's the opposite, as he's, I want to say, around an 88 overall. Wish he played like it. Up top, it is dropped. That time, Okonkwo. Very true to his number on his chest and back. He, I'm pretty sure, is an 83 overall tight end. So occasionally, yeah, we're going to have those. Just wish we didn't. Stallings had a better lane to the bottom. Ball carrier vision doesn't go to show there. That's one of the ratings keeping him back. Break tackles, he could do that no problem. 3rd and 10. Sitting inside field goal range, can't lose any yards. Or can't complete a pass either. A little bit behind Okonkwo. It is knocked away. So Ryland to try to give us an early game lead. Kicking this one from the 42. 52-yarder, hold down, kick is up. Wide. He actually misses it to the left. Well, if that isn't true for how this game or episode really has gone so far, and on top of it, Madden just glitched, so we're stuck in here watching until the very end. We won't be watching every single drive unless every single drive is a scoring one. But Smith and Jigba gets the Seahawks underway with a gain of 4. Always love when the fantasy draft brings true players back to their team. Go with a pitch to follow. That's a good stop from Brandon Smith. He had the interception to help us try to make something happen in that last one. Bringing up 3rd and 7. An opportunity with a 3 and out. Especially after we miss a field goal, that's always nice. Get a little bit of interior pass rush, though, finding the running back out the backfield. It is Feldman to Williams into plus territory. They're at the 42 now, where we tried to at least hit the field goal, though on the opposite side. Stretch to the bottom. Williams gets by 1, breaks through the 2nd and pushed out. Gain of 8. Defenses also felt a little bit off in this one. You know, every now and then when you go through these stretches of games, Madden is going to be on a hot streak with your team, might be on a cold streak, or a little bit of back and forth. And there's been a little bit of back and forth, but you could tell the team is missing that step, which is why this is going to be the final one, as this is the final season. We can't afford too many of these bad stretches. If we get right the wrong here in this one, all the better. They get a quick strike to their receiver, gain of 9. However, McGee shaken up. Seattle will be without one of their offensive linemen. As they're having a 2nd and 1, they will run it down the middle. Cansey, no, not Cansey, it's Owe. He gets a stop around the edge, bringing up 3rd and inches, though the ball very much looks past the line to gain. Is what it is. Empty set, they throw, open tight end. They're down, goal to go at the 10. Tight ends, last couple games giving us a hard time. 1st and goal for the Seahawks. It's been a slow, methodical drive for them. As they hand it off again down the middle, they pick up about 4. Just waiting for someone on our side to spark a play here. Got trip set down the bottom, one up top. Feldman, quick pass rush, shakes one, but not gonna get by the next 2. Cansey as well as one other back there. Though I believe it was maybe Savage who was sent on the blitz, got back there first. 3rd and goal, another quick set, and they try to set up the screen. The speed up front blows it up. It will be a field goal attempted here, as they will send on the unit. Getting at the 19, it's a 29-yarder. Hopefully they miss left like we did, but they find theirs. Now, good news as we are driving our next possession, trying to answer back that field goal, make up for the missed field goal. We get Stallings stretching down to the bottom. He's going to pick up a gain of 5. This drive up to this point has been mostly through him, and he's looking really good. We also did find Raheem Jarrett for a nice little gain as well. Still nothing from Dotson. That's still a position that we may have to test. Continually throughout our time here, he's never quite lived up to the hope potential. You look at the ratings. Well, they look really good. This doesn't play like it. 3rd and 3, though, we need to make sure we get the first down here, as it's a read option, and Pickett goes down just inside the red zone, and this is where the bug is infuriating, because I cannot make decisions here for the squad. I cannot force us to go for these. We will have to settle yet again for a field goal. This one at least closer from the 25 or so. Oh, it's a fake. Ryland, he got space. He's at the 10. 5, touchdown kicker. Chad Ryland. Well, that makes up for the fact that we could not jump in due to Madden's glitch. And I bet no one had that in their bingo card. But as we jump forward, defense picked up a stop. We're jumping in here on offense inside the 2-minute warning. And we really could have used that catch there from Parker Washington. Will leave us a 3rd and 12. Pickett put that one where it had to be. Again, he's played well so far this year. Need him to pick us up a first down here. As he goes across the middle, there is Dotson, just squeezing out enough for that first down. If he fits better at wide receiver 2, then that is where he will stay. Of course, Josh Johnson also itching for some playing time as well. As we go empty set here. Pickett looking for the quick check down, and he misses Okonkwo. Not sure if they were just on 2 different pages on where that stop route needed to be. Either way, it's going to look bad on the quarterback. Kenny Pickett throwing to the flat this time. He finds Okonkwo, gain of 6, and he gets out of bounds. Now we still have 3 timeouts. We just hit midfield. 1:22 on the clock. Need the 34 for ranged, but we all know Ryland missed one. Made up for it with a touchdown run. As Pickett scrambles for it here, sliding down safely. We get to the 41. This is about the outskirts of range. 39-40 is where Ryland feels comfortable. We'll start calling our timeouts from here then. As we go spread empty. 2 up top, rest down below, including Jarrett. As we go quick throw through the hands of Israel. Haven't seen him do a whole lot in the receiving game. A couple catches here or there, but not enough to say if that's like him or not. Sticking with the spread empty. As Pickett rolls down to the bottom, keeps the eyes downfield. Coming across, that's Parker Washington down inside the red zone and not getting out of bounds. However, Lamar Holiday is injured for the Seahawks. Injuries always unfortunate, but for us, kind of fortunate timing. keeps our 2 timeouts as we stay with the empty set. Pickett check down, Jarrett gain a 6 and out of bounds. Outside of that one bad miss to Okonkwo, Pickett, he's done very well this drive, need him to finish. As we throw again, that's Jarrett, 1st and goal at the 3. We call our 2nd timeout, we've got 17 seconds. Really hope Madden uses this time wisely as we've got our guy, Okonkwo dropped the touchdown. Wasn't a bad throw, got it in quickly, and he dropped it before the hit came in. 2nd and goal then. 2 spread either side, Kenny Pickett. They bring the blitz. This time it is Washington. He holds on to it. We find the touchdown before half. That was a very good passing drive. A couple mistakes on the receiver end, but Pickett, impressive. And once again, as we jump forward, it's through another good stop from the defense and offense driving. Already up 14-3 as we get stuffed down the middle there. Just a gain of 1 from Stallings. But right now, we're in control of this one. We just got to make sure it stays that way and racking up points. That's what I was trying to get to. That would definitely help us achieve that. 3rd and 1 as we go Stallings out of the backfield. We'll bring out Brandon Graham to help lead the way. Haven't seen much of Israel in this one, but Stallings has been doing very well with his carries. As he's getting a lane there, stiffs arm the linebacker, and he fights down to around the 21. His 15th carry, 74 yards. Of course, though, he doesn't have the rushing touchdown. That would be Chad Ryland. We go under center here, 1 receiver either side. Going back to Stallings, he finds a little bit of space, though. He gets stacked up. Typically, that does not happen with these safeties or corners, the DBs in general. Maybe a linebacker or defensive lineman, but he normally breaks the first contact. 2nd and 7, it's the same look as we go Stallings. That time he gets the stiff arm and picks up an extra couple, bringing up a 3rd and 5. Already over 100 total rushing yards on the day as a team. We do bring out Israel on 3rd. They bring the blitz. It's Pickett across the middle, and this time Okonkwo comes through. His 4th catch, 22 yards. He could have had a touchdown and probably an extra 15 if he held on to all the passes we've tried. 1st and goal, Pickett up top, and it's tipped, nearly picked. And RJ Mitchell is shaken up, so that's going to bring out Hennessy at the right guard spot. Ryan Bates still in for Brian O'Neill at the left guard, so we're running pretty thin offensive line-wise, but they clear the way. Backups don't matter. Stallings gets his rushing touchdown, and it's now 21-3. As we jump into the 4th quarter here, this is following a decent pass that got him to around the 40, but then we had a late hit, so down to the 25, Seahawks gifted at a time they really need it as that pass gets dropped. Heard the footsteps of Benford. Still waiting for either him or Joey Porter to make a big play today. Haven't seen it. But we're up 21-3, so the little plays, they're stacking up for us as it's lofted, broken up. Nick Cross dives out and just gets enough either on the ball or maybe even the tight end. No flag down, no boos coming in for the Seahawks fans, so I imagine it was clean. 3rd and 10, they go with the RPO. Ball is jarred free, though not caught and fumbled. Will end up being a field goal attempt here for the Seahawks. At the 32, a 42-yarder to get him back on the board here. It's been a while. And they'll find it. And on top of that, they would also find a quick stop from their defense, giving their offense another opportunity as they're back in plus territory. Needing to find a touchdown, they get a big strike to their tight end, Halen. He's come through from several times already on this drive to get them down to this point. A couple 3rd down, if not 4th down conversions. They're down just inside the red zone now. A little bit of play action. Here comes the blitz off the edge. It's the safety in Nick Cross. It'll be a loss of 2. Helping slow down their momentum a little bit then. As once again we bring them on the blitz. This time they pick it up, finding their target, 87. First time I think I've seen him catch a pass for him. 3rd and 3 then. And indeed it was his first. 9 yards for him though. We send the blitz again. They get it back outside, 85. Makes it 1st and goal at the 8. Bunch up top, Smith and Jigba down below. They'll stick with the passing game. We keep sending the blitzes, and he shakes off away. Scampers into the end zone. Javonte Williams trying to pull them back here. Our offense has got to run this game out. With us starting back at the 19, well, we've got plenty of yardage to do so. We just got to get it done. 2:24 on the clock, both teams 3 timeouts. Stallings, shake and bake, he's going to pick up a big gain. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Stallings goes all the way. Patience at the beginning pays off in a massive way as he shakes and bakes, then takes it from the 20, turns on the Jets we didn't even know he had, and goes all the way, putting us back on top by multiple scores. And ultimately, that would bring this one to an end, but it was also massively helped over on defense as we cleaned up with not only 1, but 2 late game picks to end any Seahawks hopes. First was Joey Porter Jr., second came in with Whitehead, and with that we took down the Seahawks. And while the numbers still weren't perfect for Jahan Dotson in that one, slightly better considering that we were still very run heavy, but he was essentially, I would say, kind of tied for our leading receiver. Parker Washington also had 3 catches, did get the touchdown. As for Jared, he had 4 catches but less yards, so it might also just be the playbook does not have wide receiver 1 going further downfield, but I want our better receiver further downfield, and we'll see if that ends up working with Jahan Dotson. But really, this game, it all belonged to Bryce Stallings. 22 carries, 170 yards, obviously with the 81-yarder he had there late on to end it. That's a big boost. He still probably would have gotten over 100 without the 80, but still, 2 rushing touchdowns. It was a great game from him. He earned Player of the Week. And as we start to close out this episode, all in all, it was an all right one. We technically lost more than we won, but we ended at 500. And with us having that first win against the Bengals, we are half a game behind them with a still very long season ahead of us. Hopefully next time it goes a little bit smoother. The defense starts to perform like those highlights, and unfortunately we didn't get to see in action because, well, the Seahawks just weren't getting downfield, so we weren't jumping in without it. So we missed the interceptions, watching at least from Porter and Whitehead, but hopefully, again, they continue that next time. Still haven't played the Browns. They are right there next to us, 4-4, and could easily jump us as no team has that advantage. So got to make sure we keep an eye on that. And next time, again, we'll get as far as we can here with the team. But as for my final message of it, Kenny Pickett, he's having a good year. 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's just shy of 70% completion, and honestly, he'd probably be closer to around 76 or so if our guys weren't dropping the ball. And I mean that quite literally. While I was watching, a lot of drops were happening. Balls were accurate. The receivers just weren't making the play. But come next episode, as we are currently sitting in our bye week, we will be getting back Dennis and Barkley. Dennis broke his finger in practice. He missed 2 weeks from it, including that last game. But Barkley will be back from his hamstring tear, and maybe we won't have to worry about the receivers as much. Of course, the health of Barkley has been a concern even from the playoffs last season, but we are getting close to the end of this series, so make sure you don't miss how it finishes. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Tuesday and Thursday, so we'll be back on Thursday to probably get either to the last quarter of the season or get through the rest of the season, all depending on if we could start to separate ourselves in division. We got the Steelers in week 11. They'll be the first divisional matchup, and some late Browns ones for sure. So we'll see you then, as hopefully Pickett continues his good play and we get some of our guys back healthy and continue what was a good start for at least Saquon Barkley and a building start here for our defense.